Hey guys, I wanted to hop back on here and create another video for you all and talk about how I manifested becoming a nurse and having the circumstances of a physical disability. And also to create another video because, like I said in my previous video where I talk about manifesting a trip to Aruba, I am trying to get over my shyness. I'm a shy person when it comes to being on the camera, talking, and things like that. Not shy to the camera because I'm a swimsuit model for the state of North Carolina. I take pictures on the beach and try to lure people to the beach with my advertisements. So that's something I've been doing for, gosh, how many years now? I've been in the state of North Carolina since 2001. So probably since 2008, maybe. Something that I did freelance and done really well. Since the pandemic, not so good, but we'll see. This year is going to be different. Anyway, so I wanted to tell you guys how I manifested being a nurse and getting into nursing school and being the first nurse in the state of North Carolina to graduate with cerebral palsy using the law of assumption. Now, I've been practicing the law of assumption for 2 years. I started off in the law of attraction, and it was just so difficult for me and so frustrating. But once I figured out that it truly was all about me up here, me in my head up here, I got my SP back. I manifested a car, which is on this channel, the video where I talk about how I manifested my car even after I signed paperwork for a Mercedes. That's on this channel, so check it out, like and subscribe to my channel. I do have a channel over on Spotify and Anchor called Manifesting Your Reality, the Law of Assumption, Step by Step, where I have been the first coach or YouTuber or whatever you want to call me, to tell you how to do it step by step and how I did it step by step. Because when I was with the law of attraction and finding the law of assumption, I always wanted to know, just like everybody else, how did they do it step by step? You know, like, what did you do? What was that inspired action? Like, everybody wants to know, how long did it take for you to get your SP back? And, you know, what was your inspired action? Because you're comparing yourself to that person, which I'll tell you, don't do that. It's all on an individual basis. It's all up here. And when you stay in that knowing and know who you are, know that you're going to get your end result, be it that SP, that car, that vacation, that job, or becoming that professional nurse. So let's get right into it. So 20 years ago, I had been thinking previously that I wanted to be a nurse, but I was too embarrassed to talk about it with anyone because I was born with cerebral palsy. Now, I was born in 1970. I'm going to be 52 in this January, and I'll be celebrating in Aruba. So watch that video that I just put up there, and I'm going to bring you guys along with me to Aruba. Anyway, I was born in 1970, and I was born premature. And because I was born premature, and doctor negligence, because it was back in the 70s, I was born with cerebral palsy. And if any of you know what cerebral palsy is, it is pretty much a brain damage, basically, similar to patients with diving accidents and things like that. So I have a very mild case. It did not affect me speech-wise, doesn't affect my hands. I don't have that atrophy, too much atrophy of the muscles, but it does affect my walking. And I have to keep my weight down to be able to walk on my own. I refuse, and I wear heels too, ladies. I wear heels, and I cannot wear flats. Similar to how I read an article about Mariah Carey, how she can't wear flats anymore. So, and as a nurse now, I have a desk gig. I work from home. So I don't need to wear tennis shoes or the nursing shoes anymore. So anyway, I had thought about it, but I was too shy and didn't have the confidence in myself to talk about it or to even apply many years ago. Well, about 17, 18 years ago, because I've been a nurse now, next year will be 18 years total when I got my licensure. I was a CNA before that, certified nursing assistant before that. So anyway, I had successfully done the CNA program, and I thought, I want to be a nurse. I don't want to be a CNA. I wanted to go into nursing. But I tried out the CNA program, passed that with A's, and then kept thinking I wanted to be a nurse. And I applied one day. And of course, when you apply, you fill out an application, no one can see you, right? So I applied, and I did all my workups to get approved. And I was approved, but I was on the alternate list. And here in North Carolina, and a lot of the states have something similar where they will choose their 20 or 25 students, and then the others will be on an alternate list. Whereas if a student that's in a seat fails out or drops out for whatever reason, then they'll pick an alternate. So anyway, I happened to be an alternate, and the first circumstance that popped up was on my application. It asked, can you get around tight spaces? Well, people like me with a walking disability, we can't pivot, turn, quickly, while standing or walking, and tight spaces might be a problem. So I remember checking no, and that was the only thing on that application that I always felt bad about. But in my mind, I was like, are they talking about all spaces, all tight spaces? And what if it's a tight space that has a railing or something like that? So, and I was thinking all the possibilities. So I checked no, because there could be a railing on that wall in that tight little tiny bathroom. But anyway, that was the first thing that I felt bad about. And I thought I was going to be tested, and, they'd find out that, I basically couldn't do that. But anyway, that didn't happen. And then the next thing was I had to wait until until it was like 2 or 3 months before school was to start. Right up until class started, there were girls being told they were in the program. Anyway, another circumstance that popped up was the fact that the previous year and a half, it was 9/11. And I live in a military town here in Camp Lejeune, and a lot of people were unsure what was going to happen. So, in my favor, how everything works behind the scenes, and we have to remember that anytime we've got our eyes set on anything, specific person, that car, that job, being that student in that program, we can't worry about how it's going to happen. It's going to happen as long as you focus on it, as long as you stay in that knowing that you want it. And I wanted it. And so what worked in my favor was the fact that a lot of girls that were already chosen for the program dropped out because their husbands or parents or what have you were in the military and were having to deploy, and no one knew how long they were going to be over there. My husband happened to be deployed too, but I was just like, I can't go over to Afghanistan. I can't go over to Iraq or wherever they were going. So I may as well stay busy while I'm here. So I did not withdraw my application. I took my chances, and it was in my favor. So while I'm in nursing school, there are things that others certainly can do that I can't do, or that they do better. And one of the things for sure is, walking on those floors in the hospital and carrying your patient's food trays. Well, how I got around that was, and I've always said, if you're in nursing school or in some kind of competitive program, you can let down the competition. Once you're in the program, you don't have to worry. You get to know the other students, because now you guys are just like each other. Glean off of them. You'll always find in class there's somebody that's better in note-taking than you are, and that was the case for me. Share your notes. Look at that person as you're gleaning off of them. You're trying to get to the end goal. And the end goal was to graduate, right? Even if this person you would never hang out with, you would never pick up the phone and call on a Saturday night and cry about your situation or circumstance too, still get close to them, because you all are trying to graduate. That's the end goal. So I kept that in mind, and so did the other students in my class. Everybody was rooting for everybody, including they were rooting for me. So what I did was I told all of my classmates, I said, look, there's no way that I'm going to be able to carry that open tray down that hallway, because it's always in the hospital. You have the food cart at one end of the hallway, and your patient is on the opposite end of the hallway. And that's how it was. I said, look, if you carry my trays, I'll make your beds, because we had to make our patient's bed a certain way with the toe pleat at the bottom of the bed, right? And everybody hated doing that. And I said, look, we'll tag team, and I'll make your beds with you, and we'll clean your room, and any bed baths, I will help you if you just carry my tray for my patient. And I will meet you at the door, and I'll go from there. I'll take care of my patient from there. And that's what I did. And it was a success. One thing that I did not have the confidence in me was graduation, actually walking across the stage. I did not walk across the stage because I was afraid I was going to fall or something crazy was going to happen. And that's detrimental to somebody who has a disability, just being embarrassed like that. And that's probably why it's taken me so long to get on camera and talk on YouTube. But anyway, even though I can do it, in front of a camera, a still camera, I still don't like talking. But anyway, so I made it through nursing school. I am a nurse, and you can look me up, Kimberly Harris McComas at the state of North Carolina. You can find my number. I think my number starts with a 68979. That's my nursing number, and I've been a nurse for 18 years nearly, and I stayed in that knowing. I wanted to be a nurse. I was a nurse. I saw myself taking care of my patients and getting into the type of care that I wanted to get into. And that at that time, I wanted to be an OB nurse. And I had plenty of circumstances that popped up that I didn't even faze me. Like the fact that my nursing instructor, who was a pediatric nurse, came to me and said, I know you have dexterity problems. And I was completely offended when she said that to me in clinicals one day. And the next day, I confronted her. I said, let me tell you something. I had to look up dexterity, which means, hand issues. And I don't have hand issues, as you all can see, because my cerebral palsy does not affect me in that way. But anyway, she said that to me, and the next day I went to her woman to woman. I said, let me tell you something. I do not have dexterity issues, and I will be a good nurse, and I will be a very, very good OB, maternal child nurse. And she said to me, because she was snotty, she said, because nursing school and nursing instructors are set up so that they weed out the weakest link, people that can't make it. So they will say things to you, kind of like the military, I think. They will say things to you to try to break you. And she didn't break me. And I said to her, I will be a good nurse. And she said, you'll have to pass my IV check off first. She did not pass me on that. I had to come in the day after graduation and do that IV check off before she would sign off on that clinical point so that I could graduate. I actually graduated, but she still made me come in on a Saturday. And I was so tired because, believe me, for a year, I was coming into that college at 6, sometimes 5, sometimes 4 in the morning or 4 in the morning at the hospital to do clinicals. And while everybody else was sleeping in, I was doing IV checkoff. And mind you, she didn't even pay any attention. She was too busy rearranging her boxes because they were moving out for the summer, out of that classroom for the summer. And just after I said I was done, she checked me off and whatever. I became a nurse. But anyway, you guys can look me up on the North Carolina Registry. I am a nurse, and that's how I manifested being a nurse step by step. And if you guys want to know any more specifics of how I did this, along with some other things, including manifesting my SP, check me out on Spotify. I've had an account for a whole year, and I've been one of the first, I said it, one of the first to tell you how I did it step by step and tell you how you can apply my steps to your situation and live your best life. And the best advice I can tell you is stay on your self-concept, stay on your mindset. You are powerful and you can have your best life. Anything that it is that you want, including being a nurse with a disability. I'm so proud of myself. And I hope you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe because there will be more. I'm going to try to incorporate a lot of my content from Spotify onto my YouTube channel because I know a lot of you out there are looking for step-by-step advice and examples, and I would like to impart that to you. All right, I hope you like this. Please like and subscribe because I need followers and I need for you guys to like this content because it's good stuff. All right. Bye.